Hi, I'm Patrick, and this is the Mach-E vlog. I'm holding in my hand from ScreenProtech a screen protector for this big screen in the Mach-E. We're going to put that on today, so let's go. Technically, of course, this doesn't really need a screen protector. It's not like your phone where you're worried about your keys or something like that scratching it. But what you do have with this is like a ton of fingerprints, and I have some B-roll that we'll put up over here that you can see the fingerprints. I don't know if you can see it in that view, but that's my main annoyance with the screen, is that there's a ton of fingerprints that you get on this. And this screen protector here will supposedly help with that. Now, they have two different styles. They have like a regular shiny one and a matte one. In our previous car, we had the matte screen protector on, which I liked. It did a great job of getting rid of glare as well as fingerprints, but it did sort of change the look of the screen. It like softened it just a skosh. So this one, it should be shiny, so it should just look like a regular Mach-E screen with nothing on it, except it's supposed to be more fingerprint resistant. We're going to give that a test right now and go ahead and put it on. And let's go inside real quick. I'm going to open this up on a table so I can pull everything out and show you what's inside. So this is how the screen protector for the Mach-E came in this nice little tube. We're going to open it up here and see what's inside. Spray bottle. That's for what they call the slip solution. There's the screen protector there. I don't want to pull that out completely, but this is the cleaning cloth. And then in here is a little squeegee for smoothing it out onto the screen. And one thing to note, there's like a welcome barcode here. So if you scan that using your camera, you can go directly to the welcome page that ScreenProtech has set up with all the instructions. Highly recommend going there now and reading those instructions. This video is going to show you how to install it, but definitely read the instructions that ScreenProtech provides as well. I would start with them and then come back to this video if you haven't already read that webpage. Okay, so I filled the bottle with warm water as it said in the instructions. I thought I was going to have to add some soap or something like that, but I think it had a little bit of stuff in there. Either way, their instructions just say to add warm water. It's a nice day. It's about 65 degrees. They recommend it being about 70 degrees or so. Basically, you don't want it super hot or super cold, or hot or cold. You want it sort of just temperate in the car, and you do not want any direct sunlight on the screen, of course, because that will make it adhere a little bit too fast in spots and can create some issues when you're applying it. So basically just, have some, decent moderate temperatures. Of course, if you have a woodworking shop or something like that, you probably don't want to do it near that because you don't want dust getting on the screen. But we're ready to go ahead and do this install. If you've seen some of our other videos, we did some PPF on the outside of the car. We did a screen protector on the first Mach-E that we had. And it's all relatively simple. It could be a little bit daunting, but really just go for it. And I promise you, it's not so bad. So this is a little bit of the scary part. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and clean this off first. And I recommend having the car off. Otherwise, you're going to be setting off the touch screen the whole time. So let me just spray it real quick. And do you want to switch now, or is this good?
I think it's actually good.
Definitely has some soap or something in there because I can smell it. So now we're just gonna wipe it clean with this lint-free cloth that they provided. It looks really good. I forget how good this screen can look when it's all nice and shiny, and hopefully we'll get this type of look when the install is done and it stays this way a little bit more. And maybe if I stop eating French fries when I'm using a touch screen, maybe that's it. Okay, and they said if you see any little debris on the screen, you can brush it off with the squeegee. I don't really see any, but I am going to just brush just to show you Like you can, it's almost like good practice, but you can just do that. And I'm going to, I see some streaks, so I'm going to get rid of those. And I think it looks pretty good. And then now we're ready for doing the screen protector itself. I can see the dividing line here. They actually sent it for the center screen too. So before I go too much further, I'm going to clean that as well. And it has the cutout for the ring here, as well as the center portion of the volume dial, which of course can now be used for other things. But let me go ahead and do this screen here, get that all ready. And because there's fabric around this screen, you don't want to go too crazy with the spray. But this one shouldn't be as dirty, so it should be pretty easy to clean with just a little bit of spray. And I think that looks good. Of course, it's very easy to see, like this is the bottom. We'll try to see if I can get that in the camera, because there's the cutout. And then basically, you want to spray the screen, get the screen wet. And I see a fleck of something up here. You can see I'm moving around to make sure my eyes can see like all the little potential imperfections on the screen. You really want to make sure you don't get even the tiniest bit of dust behind it, because if you do, it creates like a little tiny air bubble around the speck of dust. So it'll be very clear where it's at once it's installed, and there's nothing you can do to get rid of it after it's on there. And you don't want it so that it's like just completely running and dripping off the screen, but it's not a bad idea to put a bunch on there. It's not going to do anything. You're going to squeegee all of that off. And then here's the key. You want to be careful with this. Don't let it touch your arm or anything, but basically spray this backside and get that wet as well. Whoops. And I'm just going to go ahead and take it off and spray the whole thing. And what this does is basically, they call it a slip solution. And when you put it on the screen, it allows it to like move around fairly easy. And with the Mach-E, with this center knob, it makes it fairly obvious where it's supposed to go. And then I can put it down and it's sort of sliding all around. I got like a big bubble right there, but that's fine. I'm not worried about it at all right now. And I'm going to get that bigger bubble out just to make it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to spray the top of it as well. So the bottom is slippery, the top is slippery, and now I can sort of adjust everything. And really one of the problems with doing this is it's so clear it's hard to see exactly where it's at, but I'm getting it positioned exactly where I want, and then I'll start squeegeeing some of that liquid out, and then it'll set. And you want to basically work your way from the center out. And once I get a little bit of it set, I want to check, make sure it's still going the way I want. And then I can squeegee more, focusing on these bigger bubbles for right now. Gonna go this to the right, to the left. And I actually think I want to move it over some. So even though it was starting to stick down, I caught it early enough that I can fix it now. And that's another tip is, if you see a mistake, don't let it go and fix it later. It's like fix it now. So now I'm just going to, again, starting from the center, start working on this direction, getting everything from the center to the outside. And a lot of your water as you're working on it will start to accumulate down at the bottom. And it looks pretty good. I'm actually going to spray the top. As I was using the squeegee, I felt it grabbing a little bit. I don't want it to grab on this exterior part because then it'll move the protector, and I want to be able to just slide it very smooth. And I think I'm going to call that good. And we're going to wait and give it time to sort of set a little bit before I wipe it down. And in the meantime, I'll do the center screen. And the other thing is like, if you're going to do this, you don't want to like put this on your car and then go, park out in the sun. Oh, I got to do a little centerpiece, so we'll do that. You don't want to go like park out in the sun and let it get up to like 150 degrees inside the car. That wouldn't be good either. So try to do it on a day where, you're going to let it sit for a while. Ideally 24 hours. If you can't do that, at least like do it like maybe in the evening when it's not so hot, and then let it dry overnight a little bit more. And of course, this one I can't really squeegee it out. I'm just got to put it in there without too much of the slip solution, and it'll dry on its own. But I got to remember that it is slippery in there. Be careful when I'm touching that. The first time that I use it in the car, make sure it's set. Okay, now let's do this one. I don't really need it on this one per se, but I have it, so I might as well use it. And this one does not matter which side is up, so it should be pretty easy. And here we go. Now, something I just remembered as I put this one on, the screen actually goes down slightly behind the fabric here. So you sort of have to like make sure it's slippery and then slide it in behind that for it to get a proper fit. Otherwise it sticks up too high, obviously. And once you do that, it looks really good already. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have to do much work on this one. Not that the other one was that hard. But it's such a small little screen. And now after you've done one of these, you'll be an expert when it comes to doing one on your phone if you ever decide to do one on your phone. So that's about it. This one's looking pretty good. Such a small screen, very easy to do. It's a little bit in the evening. I should have done this a little bit earlier when I had a little bit more light, but I didn't want to be out in the bright sun doing it, getting sun on the screen. But yeah, I think it looks good. Let's see. Where's my towel? Oh, here we go. And I can see like water spots, but I don't really want to do anything about those now, because if I do, I'll have to scrub it, sort of like put too much pressure on it, and we don't want to do that just yet. But we'll touch base a little bit later, clean it up, and see how it looks. So far, I think it's going to look great. Well, it's been about 24 hours since we did the install. We went out with the car last night, used the screen like we normally would. I don't see a ton of fingerprints. I see a little bit of fingerprints, not much. So maybe, you know, if you are still adverse to like any fingerprints, you might want to go with the matte, but this shiny screen protector looks great. We'll put some B-roll up over so that you can see what it looks like while it's on. I think it looks great. Doesn't look like there's anything at all on it, which is sort of the purpose, but it will help reduce some of these fingerprints. I'm really happy with it so far. If you're interested, again, it's ScreenProtech.com. We'll actually put a link down below so that you can go directly there, make sure you're on the right page and whatnot. They don't just make these screen protectors for the Mach-E, they make them for other Fords, other manufacturers, EVs, non-EVs, tons of different options out there. And it's just sort of nice to have something over the original screen to help prevent some of the fingerprints. And they do, like I said, they have the anti-glare versions if that's more your thing. Who knows, maybe we'll give that a try next. But in any case, thanks for watching. If you have any comments about this product, you know, let us know. If you have suggestions for other things that you want us to review, drop a comment down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't want any more of this stuff, give it a thumbs down. It lets us know that this is not the content that you want. But thanks for watching. And as Liv would say, whatever you drive, enjoy the ride. Bye.